Hey, King J, what we tell him? Tell him. Back off, back off, back off, back off.
What hell's his problem?
What's going on back there, buddy?
Looks like I need to teach these punks a little lesson.
Need to? Didn't you tell me to keep my head down?
Alright, so what's going on, everyone? It's your boy King J, and I'm here with...
I'm GREG CHUN.
Explain a bit about yourself for people that don't know.
I'm a voice actor in LA, do a bunch of video games and stuff, but today we're going to talk about Judgment. I'm playing Takayuki Yagami, and super exciting.
And he's the main character of the game, which, you know, I've played the Japanese version of the game, loved it. I didn't understand the word Japanese, but, you know, I'm interested in this one because I haven't done the side quest as well, so, you know, it'd be good to know what's going on in the side quest and actually understand. I understand a bit about the game, but it would be good to understand everything now. So, you know, how did you find it? You know, being a voice actor of the game at Judgment.
I mean, it's completely crazy. You know, we do our job and we, you know, take the gigs that we can in LA and stuff like that. It's just so rare that an opportunity like this comes up where you get to play such a significant character in such a significant franchise. You know what I mean? So it's just been a kind of a whirlwind, you know. But it's really what we're working towards. So it's wonderful to be able to be a part of this.
Have you had enough?
Hey! Always getting into trouble.
Captain Hamura.
How did you find out about Judgment? Did they come to you or did you approach them? How did it all come about?
It just came through auditions through my agent.
Right,
so everybody in town got them, and they basically sent us every character of note in the game. I think there were probably 10 characters that I auditioned for, and the funny thing is, like, if you go back and listen to my auditions, they don't sound, for the other characters, they don't sound anything like the other characters that ended up getting cast. So, but the copy that we had for Yagami was definitely special, and it was that whole opening speech where he's talking about Kamurocho and you know, the town being run by the Yakuza family and stuff like that. So it was right off the bat, it was a really compelling audition, and I really enjoyed doing it, and just had the good fortune of being able to play the role.
Right. So the game is made by the same people that made Yakuza. Have you ever played any of the Yakuza games in the past before?
I haven't. I mean, I've sort of watched people play them. You know, every gamer wants a watcher. I've been the watcher a couple times, but I haven't had the time to game in a long time. And so I've unfortunately missed out on a lot of great material. But I've absorbed a lot of what the franchise is about through this process and stuff, and it sounds amazing. So when I have the time, I'm definitely going to get to it.
Nice. So from your day-to-day of doing voice acting as Yagami, how long does it take usually to, you know, the whole overall process of, you know, start to finish of voice acting as a character?
Well, for this, I had almost 6,000 lines to record for this game, which is pretty substantial. And so we generally scheduled 4-hour chunks. So I would do a couple, maybe 2 to 3 4-hour sessions per week until we were done. And we were doing this for a couple months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So you say there was 6,000 lines. So these lines are basically stuff to do in the main story and the side quests as well.
Well, I don't know if the side quests are voiced. I think those might just be text.
Right, yeah.
So it's the main story that we did, but I mean, you know, there are lines that are a little bit longer, and then there are lines that are just like a grunt or a nod. Or,
Yeah.
So it varies.
Yeah.
There's sometimes some sessions you just blow through, you know, a couple hundred lines, but then other ones that are more dealing with the story and stuff, you want to get just right. We might do more takes of those to just have options. You know what I mean?
Right. So on the subject of voice acting, what was the most challenging part you had, and what was the most fun part you had?
Of this particular project?
Of this project, yeah.
I think it's hard to pick what was the most fun part, because the whole thing was just a blast. And a lot of that has to do with more than just the story or the role you're doing. It has to do with the people that you're working with.
Right.
And my director Keith Aram and Scott and Dan from the localization team were in there, and we just had a blast. You know, the 4 of us had a great time hanging out. It was a great work process. If I had to choose something that was my favorite, it would have to be doing the segments of the game where the player's given a choice to, you know, either say this or that, and there are choices that are clearly wrong. Yeah. And if you choose them, you know, I got to say whatever the option was, and it may have been ridiculous, and then somebody in the game calls me on it, and then I have to voice the moment where I'm like, oh yeah, you're right, that's dumb, you know?
You consider that.
Yagami sensei.
And they didn't choose something else. So that ended up being kind of a running joke because we really, when something like that came up, we were really like, oh, this is gonna be fun, you know?
So what was the most ridiculous terms that you had to say in terms of the choices?
Oh, what did I say? Gosh, it's a good one. Oh, I know what it is, but I can't say it because it's a huge spoiler. I wish I could say it, but I cannot.
All right, tell me off camera.
I will. Yeah, well, no, it was my favorite line of the whole game, but I can't say it.
So I know you play Yagami, but there's other characters in the game. Is there any other characters that you kind of looked at that you thought you liked the way how they appear in the game and how they are?
It's just sort of like their
Just
look.
Just a look, yeah. I know you've got the Yagami look going on. You've got the leather jacket, the hair and everything. And it's great cosplay. It's exactly like that. But is there any other characters? Because I've been through the game already and there's characters that I think, oh, this character is amazing. But is there a specific character that you feel that is like, oh, I like the look of this character?
You know, I really love Kaito, honestly.
Yeah, same.
He's just like a larger than life kind of guy, and you know, obviously he is my best friend in the game, so I'm a little biased, but he's just so unhinged, and that's hilarious to me that he just
everything he does over the top.
I know, but you know, I actually quite like Matt Mercer's character. Gosh, I'm so bad at remembering the actual Kuroiwa. That's right. Because he's just so smooth looking and has sort of a, you know, he's just really cool and kind of intimidating, and so it was really fun kind of interacting with him as well. Right.
So, you know, let's step away from the voice acting part of it now. What was the most fun part about this project for you, like overall? Have you done any events like coming up to the build up of the game coming out?
I mean, I think I'm living it right now. I mean, this trip I've never been to London before.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first time being here, and just like everybody's treating me so incredibly well here. It's really, my mind's blown. You know what I mean? And you just sort of, I was telling Sarah today that I'm actually getting depressed already that I'm leaving tomorrow. You know, but. It's been a quick trip, but it's been so great. So as far as like my favorite part of the process, give me this week any day, and I'll be good.
Great. So have you gone to any like food places? Like have you had a cheeky Nando's? Or
I have, in
that?
fact. Yes.
Yeah.
That tried all the different sauces. This morning I had a bacon and egg naan.
Ah.
That was ridiculous.
Have you had like the spiciest for the chicken?
No.
Nando's? So like have you had like extra hot or usa?
See, I would have done that if I didn't have to do all this. Because
come on, man.
No, if I do something like that, it's definitely going to impact my ability to be present for these things. Because
okay. Yeah, I understand.
You don't need to get into too much detail about that.
So what other fun things? Have you done anything fun in like, you know, in London, you're staying in London? Have you done anything like, I don't know, we have lots of things like tourist attractions and stuff like that for people that have come first. Have you done anything, or has it just literally you've done a lot of events for Judgment?
It's been pretty much Judgment and sleep, because I'm really bad with jet lag. And so it just like jacks me up. And so when I haven't been working with the folks who are like going out to eat and stuff like that, I've just had to go back and rest. Plus I'm old now. It sucks. Being old sucks.
I'm getting on myself, you know, I understand it. But yeah, no, thank you very much for your time and the interview. Is there any last words you would like to say to the people that are watching this that have an interest for Judgment?
Yeah, just thanks so much for your support. I hope you play the game. I hope you give the English dub a chance, and reach out, stay in touch, let me know what you think.
All right, thank you very much for the interview, man. Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Yes!